Hello everyone, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2, and today we have a tutorial how to make a trifold, which is a very interesting fold out for your journal, or oftentimes I put them in my junk journal, but it's for the lapbook today. We're continuing on our lapbook series, and very exciting. So in the video, I actually put it on one of the hinges, one of these hinges here, and then wound up changing my mind to the other side of the book. There's a little junk journal. This side of the book. So this is actually my trifold here, and I'll show you more about that in the video. So it just goes to show you can change your mind and it'll still work out. I really like the final location of that. So stay tuned and we will get right on to the trifold. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is, remember we have these hinges here. So I am going to attach a trifold onto one of the hinges. So probably not the first hinge, but I'm going to glue that onto the second hinge, and I've already started it, so you don't have to watch me do the whole thing. So let me fold this up. So I picked some coordinating colors, and it's just me, but I wanted different colors, so I've got a little color scheme going here. To make it easier for me, because I did it wrong one time, I usually put a mark where it's going to pull out. So that way I know that this side has the hinge. So that's just a little thing that I found to be helpful. Alright, so all it is butting two pieces of paper together, leaving just the tiniest of gaps. It doesn't have to be very big of a gap at all. And then gluing fabric down over the edge of both pieces, and I did it on the front and I did it on the back. And this fabric is so thin that I have to be really careful with the glue. Like, this was kind of perfect. I don't want to say perfect, but kind of perfect. And then this one has some little spots peeking through, so I can go back in with some ink maybe and cover those up. But they're not horrible either, so I might be able to leave it depending on what I've got going on the page, I think. Also, I found out something that was kind of helpful. This one, I was running out of glue. If you watched my last video, you know I was running out of glue, and trying to get my junk not to show. I was running out of glue, and it had sort of dried on me before I had the fabric down, and I thought, well, you know, I'm just going to push this in and do the best I can. So I pushed it, but it was still, the tack of the glue was totally gone. So it was kind of a waste, but I didn't have any glue left, and so I was kind of desperate. So I'm like, well, if I sprayed it with water, I know that would work, but I don't want to spray it with water because of the paper. So I took it over to my iron and I ironed it, and wow, it went down evenly and reactivated the glue. I was totally amazed. So that's a little hint for you. If that ever happens to you, or if you want to just do it that way, just put your glue down, let it dry, mostly dry. I don't know if it works if it's totally dry, but not tacky enough to hold anything to it. Take it over to your iron and give it a try. Give it a try. You might even be able to use a little steam, and I think that would be amazing. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I did this. You know, I explained it, but it's pretty easy. But the trick is, like, I think glue sheets would be perfect for this, but I'm not going to go to a glue sheet right now. So the trick to this is to absolutely get the thinnest layer of glue that you can possibly get. Otherwise it will, as you know, glob up and leave a glue mark on your paper, or on your fabric. Also, you don't have to use fabric here. You could use paper. So you could totally use paper. I don't think it has to be a certain heavy weight or anything. But usually those hinges you need on both sides. So you would have paper on both sides, or you could do half and half, like do half fabric, half paper, whatever, excuse me, so whatever you prefer. So I'm trying to get the thinnest layer of glue that I can. Some of these papers, I just pulled them from my stash, these solids, and I don't know what they are, but they sort of absorb into the core. They sort of absorb that glue. It doesn't rest on the surface at all. So I think that's really odd. I don't think I've ever had that before. Okay, so I'm butting these together. Make sure you can see the whole thing here. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to put this underneath so you can see the gap. Kind of hard to see on a piece of black in the background. Okay, so just the tiniest of gaps, and my glue is starting to dry, so I might even have to go to my iron. Make sure your paper is even. The edges are even and nice and straight. All right. This is a batik, so a lot of times I also get my straight edge and make sure that the fabric is straight. Okay, my glue was fine, so because it is sticking. Well, not so much, not so much. We gotta put another line here. Okay, try to get that pulled over just a tiny bit more. And up here, it seems a little crooked to me too. Okay, I do use my straight edge a lot of times to do that, because I found that when I eyeball it, sometimes I'm not the best at, it seems straight and then it's not. So, all right. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. Oops, sorry about that noise. And then this is usually easier because the papers are already together. And if you line up your fabrics, you don't even have to worry about that either. This is not the best fabric to use. It's very, very thin, like tissue paper, kind of. Not really, but seems like it. Okay. We're going to give that a try. Yeah, so this might not be the best fabric to use, but I thought the colors went well, and it sort of looks like seaweed or waves or something, so I thought it went really well. Okay, and sometimes what I do is I'll bend it to make sure that I have as much up here as I do down here, and it looks like I need to scooch this over just a little bit. Okay, pretty good. All right. All right, so as you can see, this was my mark. So this is going to be the top piece that pulls out. Okay, so when I pull it now, my hinge is on this side, and then it just folds into like a Z shape. So this this is the paper that will be glued onto the hinge. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab my book. And this will become, now this is really good quality cardstock. I do not know what kind most of them are. I think this one is Stampin' Up! Cardstock, which I really like. But, so this is a nice, good quality cardstock, which I would recommend. I am going to be putting things on it, so that will make the paper, the page itself sturdier. So it'll have a front and back decoration, like large pockets, or maybe I'll, you know, if I need a certain color, I'll cover this just with orange or whatever. So it will have, you know, more layers on it to make it a super sturdy page. So that's not to worry about. But right now, I am going to show you how I glue it onto the hinge. So I'm gonna, this is the way it goes. So I am going to just run a bead of glue, and these should fold over. In fact, I would go ahead and just like work them so that they're easy to turn, and then we're ready to glue. So when you glue this edge, just make sure it does not interfere with your fold. Bring it up just a fraction, and then go ahead and work it just to make sure that it is not interfering, and then just really pinch that and smooth it down until it's tacky enough to not move anymore. And then I'll show you what we're going to do after that. So this paper comes out just a tiny bit over my hinge at the top and at the bottom, so that's perfect for measurement. For sure. You could also use your favorite double-sided tape for this. Makes it super easy as well. I really like the, I haven't used enough double-sided tapes to really know. I have a Suquang double-sided tape, but since this hinge is pretty important, and I wasn't sure about the, you know, stability of the double-sided tape, I didn't want to actually, because I've had some double-sided tapes kind of give way on me, and I didn't want that to happen here. So, and I know that Fabri-Tac, this is actually Fabri-Fix, is super strong, and so I'm just going with what I know. But if you found a double-sided tape that really works well for hinges and like heavy use things, let me know. That may be something I would like to invest in. So I'm just holding this until I can sort of experiment and make sure it's not going to interfere with my folding. And I think it's good. Good. So I would probably say it would be better to decorate this before you glued it on, but I wanted to show you how to make a trifold and then how to glue it onto the hinge. And I wanted to do that all at one time so you guys could see how to do that. Just getting all my seeping glue, although it's not going to matter because I wanted to just go over something else I'll be doing real quickly here. Okay, so I think that's probably safe. So it'll go like this, and I just realized my mistake, one of my mistakes. A mistake that I just made. I am going to trim this. It's no problem. I'll just slip my trimmer under here and trim this. But I'm probably going to trim this down about 3/4 of an inch, so it's a little shorter than the rest of it. And then I'll probably put a tab on here. Not probably, I'm going to put a tab on here. And then it's going to be sort of a place where you can grab and then just pull this. So I like to make this top edge a little bit shorter, so I will be doing that as well. So if you're doing it like this, don't forget that step. I just totally forgot about that. I was so busy with that glue on the hinge and stuff. So I've got, you know, I've got a little bit more work to do on here. I have to make sure that's all down. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, now you don't have to cover up this hinge, but I think I'm going to. I'm going to put a large pocket here, and then that will just get glued right on top of this hinge, just making sure it doesn't interfere with the fold of the, right here, the fold of the hinge. So it's basically the same thing. It's just taking, I know I don't have this cut, but I think I will cut it right now. So we can show you that. So this piece of paper is definitely long enough. Okay. And I usually just eyeball it as far as how deep. Okay, so I think it's going to be about right there. Then I have to decide what color I want. Okay, I don't know what side I'm going to use. Alright, and then my paper is 11 inches. Is it 11 and 8.5? Yeah, it's 11 inches. So I'm going to cut this down to 11. Okay. And I'll put a thumb grab in it. And this one I think I'll put in, let's see, do I want this? I think I might do this. Oh, it's all so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do this. So I'm just going to put a thumb grab up here, just for something different. I'm going to put it up there at the top. Okay, just like that. And before I glue this down, I'm going to ink the edges. I'm going to probably sew around the edges. And then what I'm going to do is just run a bead of glue. It should match because I measured 11 inches. And then I'll put a bead of glue on the ends along the bottom and up that end. And then that will just totally glue right on top. And I'm going to cover up this hinge just a little bit, making sure that it's up high enough so that the hinge is not, or the fold is not hindered by the paper there. So I will be gluing it on just like that, and this will be a nice big pocket for a large, probably journal page or something like that. Maybe even a little booklet or something. So I will figure that out later, but so that's how I would cover up the hinge, although you don't necessarily have to with something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to decorate these pages. So when I come back, I will have decorated these pages, and I'll show you those. And then we're going to go ahead and figure out something to put on this first hinge here. I have a couple ideas, but I will get ready so that you can see everything all at one time. All right, be back. Hello, I'm back. I have to confess something. I changed my mind. So let me show you what I mean. Let's crack this open. So originally we together had glued our trifold onto this hinge here. And then when I tried to close the book and take a second look at it, I realized that that was going to be too big for this side of the book. Just too big. The cover wasn't closing. It was at an angle like this. Plus I had to decorate the insides, and so I knew it was going to get even worse. and it was folding, it was like bending over this, and it was just awful. So before the glue, fortunately I figured it out before the glue had a chance to set, so I just pulled it right off. And so I do have a little bit of a gluey mess that will be covered up, will have to be covered up because it's a gluey mess. But I'm going to show you what I did with it. I put it in here. So this was going to fold out this way, and this open edge here was normally going to be on this side, but I had to make the Z form in a different direction so that I could put it in this side of the book. Which is easy to do because these hinges are great. They're multi-directional. You can change your mind and you know, flip it a different way. So that's what I did. And now I'm going to show you how I decorated it, because that's what I promised I would do. On the cover here, I made a belly band and just collaged it up, put some brads in there. And I have a booklet, which it's on a heavy, real heavy cardstock here. So it's removable. And then it's just miscellaneous sheets of paper. And then the cardstock just slips underneath the belly band. So that is removable, and you could replace it if you need to. And then to keep it from sort of going like this, I just have a clip right here at the top. All right, and then open it up this way. And here is a double pocket. And this long tag has a side tuck there with some journal cards in it, and this tag also has a side tuck with this journal card, and those just go right in there. And then this side has a vertical belly band, which has this beautiful card from the paper collection. And then I just did some ink treatments on these cards here, and these are just giant index cards. Those are a lot of fun to work with, so those are cool. All right, and then the other side is the part that's glued down. So it's just 2 pages on this side, and then you can open it up this way as well. And we've got a double pocket here with these tags, just a little collaging on there. And I've sewn around everything. It's what I do. More of a junk journal world, so I love the look of the sewing, and so that's what I do. So this is a divider, a tabbed divider, and I just collaged it up, put some fancy stitching, and then this side pocket. And we've got some journal sheets in here. This one is actually folded in half. Oops, a little stuck together a little bit. And this is just a piece of paper here. I can't remember, did I have that behind there? I think I did. And then this is a piece of paper from the paper pack, and I just stitched around that. And those just get tucked in this tuck spot here. And I also have the sticker pad, so you can, when I hold it like this, you can see the shiny, but this is a sticker, and these are just cutouts from the paper pad. And this is just torn edged. Okay, and so that's it, because this is the page that's glued down. So that gets that goes in there like that. And so that is something I changed up. But I just put glue that out on that back page. I just put glue over the whole thing and just pressed it down. So that's how that worked. All right, and that is it for that trifold. And it just goes to show you that you can change your mind and the location will work out just right, or maybe even be better. So I'm super happy with the way it turned out in the end. Thank you for watching, and please join us in our social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, and we have an Etsy shop too. So please check those out if you'd like to, and we will catch you in the next video. I'll show you what we're going to make real quick. So we will be making this window page. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming up very, very soon. And it has a card, a large card in there. But I'll show you all that in the next video, and maybe even get to the flaps here. So it's going to depend on how long this first part takes, but we will see what comes next. Got a couple things in the works. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.